So suppose we are wanting to select 3 students from this class, so all 41 of you, to speak at parent nights about the joy of AP Stats, or we'll just say the joy of stats. How likely is it that we will get 3 boys? Well, we'd have to know how many boys, and I don't see you in front of me right now, so I don't remember. So I'm going to say that there are, I don't know, I know there's more boys, I think. Or maybe it's about the same. We'll say 23 boys and 18 girls. Okay? All right. So our component, the first thing we need to do is identify our component. And our component is picking 1 student at a time, because you can look at one at a time. And there's 2 options. You could be a boy or you could be a girl. Okay? So we'll set up the boys first because we wrote that. Now, since there are 23 boys, I'm going to list the numbers 0 through 22. Because remember, we're going to start at 0. Now, for girls, I know that I'm going all the way to 41. So what I can do is I could just say that this goes from 23 to 40. Remember, it's always 1 less than what it actually is because we're including a number in front of it. And then the numbers disregard or we ignore 41 to 99. Okay, so the trial is we're going to pick random digit numbers, and because we have 2-digit numbers, we're going to pick 2-digit random numbers until we find 3 students. Until we count 3, or until we have 3 students. Till we have 3 students. And we're going to try and find out how many times we actually get 3 boys. Okay? So we're going to pick 2-digit numbers until we have 3 students. And once we have 3 students, we're going to find out how many times that we have 3 students that it's boys. And we're going to try and do that throughout this random digit table. Okay? So the response variable is a boy or girl. That's what we're looking at. And we're looking for 3 girls. And we're looking for the percent of time it is 3 boys. Okay, so when we mark a random digit table, you have to mark it clearly because I have to be able to look at it, or your AP Stats grader has to be able to look at it and know what's going on. So you can start on the first row, you can start in the middle, you can start on the second row. You just have to state where you're going to start. I'm just going to start on the first row, and I'm going to go until I find a student. And again, it's 2-digit numbers, so I have to look at 2 digits. Okay, so 67, not a student. 70, not a student. 22, there's 22. 22 from us represents a boy, so I circle it and I put a B above it for boy. 43 is not a student. 13 is a student. And 13 up here, again, 13 is another boy. 54 is not a student. 48 is not a student. And 9 is a student. And that's another boy. So the first time, I got 3 boys right away. Okay? All right, so now you could draw a line here because we're starting another trial. Okay? So here's a boy. 37, 37's a girl. And 29's a girl. So this one, I got boy, girl, girl. So I'm writing down my trials. I do my line. 24 is a girl. 96 is not a student we can accept. 62 is not a student. 29 is a student, that's a girl. 55, no. 29 is another student, that's a girl. So this time, draw my line so I can see. Girl, girl, girl. Okay? So we can keep doing this. 93 is not a student. 49, not a student. 94, not a student. 95, 87, 81. There's one. We finally found one at 32. I have to draw my line. 32 up here. There's 32. 32 is a girl. 27 is a girl. 14 is a boy. So you would keep doing this until it said how many trials you had to do. Okay? Right now, I have only one time where it's happened. But I'm going to do another row. Let's see. I'm going to finish this row out. So 29. 29's a girl. 51 doesn't count. 10's a boy. 91 doesn't count. 20's a boy. 70 doesn't count. 49 doesn't count. 18's a boy. So now, oh, I did too many. So it's girl, boy, boy. So if I were only doing 5 trials, I had 3 boys show up, or I had 3 boys assigned to do it randomly, 1 out of the 5 trials, which was 20% of the time. If you wanted to, you could have started from this row, but it's that same process. You have to circle the ones that work, you cross off the ones that don't, you need to clearly label if it's a girl or boy above. Someone has to be able to follow what you do. Okay, so if we ran this a bunch more times, we would get a different number, but you have to kind of write a summary. We haven't talked about this yet, but so the simulation suggests, this is important. You can't say we found or the answer is. You have to say the simulation suggests, because it's not always the same, but that's important. The simulation suggests for us that 20% of the time, 3 boys would present. Okay? Now, if I had more time or if I was in class with you, I would say, okay, this row, take that row, and let's see how many total we get. But because this is all we have, we're just going to go with this. And usually you would keep going until you got 10 to 15 trials. Okay? So each of these was a trial over here. We found 1 trial, 2, 3, 4. We did 5 trials, and 1 out of 5 trials had all boys. And again, remember you say the simulation suggests.